Hey, good people, welcome to Russ Can't Fly. Happy New Year!
Oh my God, Russ can fly!
All right, so as you can imagine, it is really cold out here. And I definitely wanted to just wish everybody a happy new year. Definitely wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's gonna be happening this year. But before I get to that and more, I wanted to say that this video is proudly sponsored by Flightcraft. Flightcraft is an amazing new business that was created by Miss Layla. And I'm going to show you a picture of her. You'll see it there on the side. And I got to tell you, this is what excites me so much about the aviation community. There's so many different things that people do. And Miss Layla, 18 years old, decided that after her dad got his pilot's license that she would start this business. Now, as you can see, to the side here, it talks all about her and how she got started on her journey. And she reached out to me and I said, absolutely, I will definitely, talk about your business and make sure that people know all about it. And so here is a few screenshots of the website. And right up above here, you'll see her website address. I am not too proud to beg, plead, cajole, arm twist. Please go check this small business out. The thing that I love about it is for us pilot. Now, Miss Layla made one for me, and you're gonna see, a picture of it here. And one of the things that I asked her to do was make me a milestone plaque for the time that I bought Charlie and first brought her here to Doylestown, and she did just that. And so Miss Layla will basically make you a plaque that celebrates a milestone in your aviation journey. So say for instance, you did your first solo at Wingsfield and you had a date and you knew the tail number of your airplane. Well, as you can see from some of these pictures, these are the types of things that Miss Layla will provide for you. So I implore you, aviation community, please go check this website out. Please support this small business, this young entrepreneur who's trying to find herself in this aviation space. If nothing else, I know that you guys have been so supportive of me. Definitely at least check her out. They make great birthday gifts and any of the other holidays that may be coming up for you. So definitely go check out Flightcraft. I'm telling you, you won't be sorry. She does excellent work, and it is the perfect way to capture a milestone. So for any of the student pilots out there or people who know of them, make sure you reach out to Flightcraft and memorialize the major milestone in that person's aviation journey with an amazing plaque. They will love it. And to Miss Layla, hats off. Thank you for what you're doing. And I congratulate you in being so young and already having the entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, so one of the things that's going on is, like, as you can see my breath. We're starting to get into some real winter flying. And one of the things that I'm beginning to discover is, Charlie does not like the cold. She's built for warm. And so I'm definitely learning that, I've got to figure out how to keep that oil temperature up, because the baffling is great. But once I get up there and it's cold, I just see that oil temperature just go down. And a couple times I saw the oil temperature light start flashing on the engine monitor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's happening? So these are some of the things I'm learning about my baby girl as it relates to, flying in the cold. This is something that's going to be new this year, and something I'm definitely going to be trying to dial in and making sure I figure out. I'm sure it's probably going to have to do with, the amount of air that's going into the cowling. Great during the summer. You want to cool that, that engine down. But definitely I was seeing oil temperatures of like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm like, yeah, no, we need to get back on the ground and figure this out. Now, one of the things that I definitely loved that is making winter flying, a lot more palatable is this engine heater is definitely awesome. So as you can see, the cord is snaking out here, and I'm gonna show you. If you look down in there, you can see the oil heater is plugged in. And like I said, this install is just so amazingly clean and awesome. And I can tell that it's operational because you can see down there, the plug has a little light in there. So that's how I know it's connected. And that's been really awesome. And I only plug it in when I know I'm going to fly, because I don't want to just kind of keep it in because I'm worried about there being heat, but then the top being cold and condensation and all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely been awesome because when I've come out here and I plugged it in, wait 2-3 hours or whatever, do everything else I need to do, and when I go to check the oil, I can actually feel that oil has some heat in it. And so I feel really good about the fact that is really going to help protect the engine by having that oil have some heat in it, rather than it's just no heat and it's not flowing and it's just metal on metal grinding as I start the engine. So that's definitely been, extremely helpful. The other thing that I've been really focused on too, using, now I thank Mr. Terry so much for this. So the other thing that I've liked is I've been using this battery tender, and I definitely thank Mr. Terry for providing that to me. This has been pretty awesome because this battery tender is really helping to keep the battery healthy. And as it's really, really cold out here, this has been very helpful. So I haven't been too concerned about what's happening with the battery. And from that standpoint, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so what's on tap for 2025? Well, one of the things that I want to do is, again, I want to dial in, what's happening here in the cowling in terms of being able to keep the oil temperature up. So I definitely want to dial that in. The other thing that I want to make sure that I get on top of is my instrument rating. Yes, I have begun to do a couple sessions of instrument flight training flying, and I'm telling you, I'm surprised you just don't see the top of my head off. Such a different type of flying. And I have to say that I remember starting flight training and being frustrated and feeling like maybe this is not for me. Well, guess what? I kind of feel that way again with this instrument flight training. I mean, man, one of the things that I tried to be mindful, especially when I was flying Little Sammy, is heading and altitude. And you guys can all remember that, I would take these flights in Little Sammy, and one of the things I would always try to do is make sure I was mindful of my heading and my altitude. One, because my CFI prior to me getting my private pilot's license said that that's an important thing to do. Great technique, safety, plane separation, all that kind of stuff. But it really is crucial during instrument training and instrument flight rules flying, because that's that separation, 500 feet or whatever, you start busting your altitudes and it's a problem. Plus, I don't want to fail the check ride, and that definitely can be a failure point for sure. So that's one of the things I'm trying to dial in with Charlie. Definitely trying to fly with a lot more precision, trying to understand power settings in her. What happens when I'm at 2200 RPMs? What happens when I remove power and it's at 1800 RPMs? How do I make sure that I get a specific airspeed, 500 feet per minute climb? What's the power setting? What's the angle? So those are all the things that I'm really trying to dial in. And so now as I fly, those are the things that I'm thinking about. But for 2025, my goal is to get my instrument rating. The thing that I am so excited about in terms of becoming an instrument rated pilot is I know for a fact the amount of precision that a pilot needs to have in order to be an instrument rated pilot makes you definitely a safer pilot for sure. The way in which you're flying, it's just so different. Rather than just throwing the plane up in the sky. I mean, you are really flying with a level of professionalism that I think brings along with it some safety. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to dial in with Charlie. I will say that I am starting to get much more comfortable in her. My personal minimums for crosswind landings were somewhere between 8 and 10. And the other day, I did a 14 knot crosswind landing. Now, that's not something that I want to do routinely, trust me, but I was able to do it. And actually, it wasn't bad. I didn't land hard. I didn't side load, none of that kind of stuff. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm really getting used to what Charlie does, with different flap settings and all that kind of stuff. And if I'm high, what happens if I pull power and all that kind of stuff. Getting to feel what she's doing. And you may be saying, well, Russ, you've had her for a while. Well, it's only been like 6-7 months. Remember, I bought her in May, end of May, June, is when I began to fly her in earnest. And so still figuring out what she does. And one of the things that's crazy is with this cold weather and these cold temperatures, for my non-pilot people out there, cold air, like I'm standing in here now, freezing, is more dense. So airplanes climb and the engines run so much better because it's just, more dense air and all that kind of stuff. So typically I'm used to seeing Charlie climb anywhere from 8 to 1,000. At one point, I was full power, climbing out at maybe like 97 knots. I was doing 1,500, 1,800 feet per minute. Crazy. I'd never seen those type of climb speeds before ever in any other airplane that I had flown in. So it was just amazing to see her performance. So that's the thing that I'm trying to dial in this new year, figuring out what she does now that it's cold, now that it's wintertime, what's happening, what little idiosyncrasies. And so, yes, I'm actually struggling a little bit because, the engine is more powerful. She's climbing like crazy. She climbs so easily in this dense, cold air. But like I said, just making sure I'm able to keep the oil temperature up is something that, I never thought about before. But I think the cowling and all that kind of stuff is just so efficient. Gonna just have to figure that out. So those are the two big things that I really want to do this year. And the other thing is I want to go to everything. Yes, I want to do Sun and Fun. I want to do Pine Bluff to do the fly-in Skyhook. I want to do Oshkosh. I want to do, if there's a fly-in, I want to do it. And for Oshkosh, I want to do it all. Like, I want to go out there and take my tent and camp. And if it rains, be in the mud and suffer and all that kind of stuff. I really don't want to suffer, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I want to do all of the, stuff that one does at Oshkosh. I really want to start doing all of that kind of stuff and get myself oriented to doing some of that type of flying. And so I'm looking forward to, good Lord willing, a very robust 2025. Lots of more challenges, lots of more milestones, lots of great experiences. And finally, one of the things I want to do this year is meet some of you. So what I'm going to do is definitely, if you see me, you know that my plan to be at Oshkosh. If you see me, please come up and say hi. If you see me at Skyhook, please come up and say hi. If you see me at Sun and Fun, please come up and say hi. Because one of the things I love about the aviation community is just how amazing you guys are. The people who are part of this community are just fantastic. And I definitely want to meet some of you, hang out, tell war stories, all of that kind of stuff. And if weather permits and we've got time and all that kind of stuff, we could do some flying. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, start this new year. And I know these talking head videos, snooze, boring, snore. But I definitely wanted to start the new year off just basically saying what all is going to be on the agenda. Okay, so as I wrap this up and get ready to close this hangar and do the last checks, don't forget to check out Flightcraft. Show Miss Layla some love. I think it's just amazing to see this young individual, start this business. And the thing that I love, of course, she's talking about her dad and, I've got a daughter and she's his daughter, and I love that. And so, I definitely want her to be successful, definitely will be praying for her to be wildly successful. I love what she's doing. And I definitely hope that all of you, who are inclined, that you go onto her website, support her, especially if you've got a milestone that you're going to be celebrating. You definitely want to celebrate it with a plaque from Flightcraft. I'm sure you will not be sorry. All right, so with that, I am out. I'm going to do one last check, make sure everything is cool, close out the hangar, and call it a day. And, do some more flying, hopefully in the next couple days. All right. So with that, I say Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. And it's going to be a great year. All right. Take care. Russ can fly. I'm out. Peace.